Be right back.
Alright.
Right, I'm back.
Hi.
Yeah, I've got my dinner in like 20 minutes.
What's loud, love? Who's loud?
Oh yeah, can you give me a link to the stream?
Well, have you got Twitter open?
Okay.
So maybe just tweet.
The joy of dual screen.
Yeah.
It's just purely for the chat. Okay. The one who sound tested first sounds a tad loud. That's you then.
No, it's never going to be me because my mic is so quiet. It's never going to be me. Like, I have to turn it down really low.
Fair enough. Oh dear God. I can't believe I'm willingly missing Doctor Who to do this. I thought that would never happen.
That's why we have the iPlayer.
Indeed, we do. Oh, and DVDs. Oh, I'm loud.
Yeah, it's always going to be you. No, but it's
Yeah.
always my end. I have to turn you really quiet in my headphones just so we're like equal. Because I have a USB mic that can't be boosted.
Speaking of which, missing Doctor Who equals sacrilege. Fine, I'll just go then. Where's my volume mixer? Would help if Windows worked properly. Channel. Yeah, that's right. Can you hear me typing, by the way?
It's not.
Wait, the last one was on the 30th. Good to March then. That one. I got it way too early.
Yeah.
Yes, it is every other. Fair enough. Do you have a cow in your room?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly, sounds like you have a cow in your background.
A cow?
Yeah, I just heard a moo or something like it. It's gone now, but so it's probably someone going past.
It might have been me humming.
That's why you hung on terrified. Yeah, probably was you hung.
Right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's replay. Hi everyone, by the way, we're going to be starting shortly. I'm not sure which games we're going to cast first because someone else handles that, but I'll put them at the top, and the YouTube VODs are going to be named and all that anyway, so don't worry if you miss anything.
I still need to catch up on the GSL from this morning.
Oh, don't read the chat then, because you don't want to get spoiled on what happened this morning.
No, I already spoiled. I get Twitter text from my phone, and I woke up to everyone talking about it, how amazing it was. I'm like, I just woke up. God damn you. So it wasn't exactly the greatest start to my morning. No, that's probably need to turn Mumble off. Actually, what has he done? Oh, fair enough.
Okay, we're looking good. Join on me?
Right, hang on. Oh, give this a second. I can't remember what changes they made on Zelwarga Caverns for MLG.
I think there's a supply depot at the bottom of the ramp.
Oh yeah, build block. Yeah, can you explain to me on your... Oh, I may as well do it.
Can I what?
Never mind. I was kicked, so I had to rejoin.
You're Kane, right?
Yeah. Oh, see, I would have joined this, but I'm the only guy in my entire sixth form who plays StarCraft 2.
Yep. Plymouth doesn't have much of a showing either, and why the fuck is it this way?
Oh, Thames Valley. Apparently we've got everything from Grandmaster to Bronze in this.
Yeah, we do. We do indeed. Right. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, Biohazard's Grandmaster.
And what's the other guy? I'm trying to check quickly because I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm just doing it now. He's a Platinum.
Okay. Well, waiting on Xeon. We saw Xeon last week, actually. Okay. You good to go? Or you
Yep.
better be checking I've got everything going. Great. And I'll start off with the intro when we get in.
Cool.
Hello and welcome all. This is the United Kingdom University Team League between Falmouth Sixth Form and Thames Valley University. In the top right hand corner we have Xeon representing Falmouth Sixth Form, and in the bottom left we have Biohazard representing Thames Valley University, and it's a Protoss versus Protoss, so should be short, should be sweet, shouldn't be something too long, but it is a Masters versus a Diamond player. I believe the top right is Masters, did you say?
Platinum. Xeon's Platinum.
Okay, that would make Biohazard in the bottom right the Masters player, so definitely...
Grandmasters.
Grandmasters, okay.
Yeah.
So definitely the favourite going into this one. And the map, you know, as far as maps goes, is pretty fair game. Maps tend to be brought up mostly in non-mirror matchups, like the issue of maps, but some maps, when you get the wide ramps such as Tal'Dorei Malta and Scrap Station, you generally have no option but to do some form of a 4-gate, lest you get killed by a 4-gate.
Yeah.
And
we can we'll see sentries block off the ramp because it's that width. You can only use one force field. So if you have 2 sentries, you'll be able to hold her for a while.
Yeah, which is something you can't do on the wider ramps generally. And I'm sure we'll see that used a lot more when we get to the patch notes, if they go through. I mean, they seem to be sort of slightly digressing. Anyway, it's a mirror matchup, and they're both doing mirror builds so far. It's pretty much down to the second, their timings on everything. With Xeon being slightly more proactive about checking for proxies, although Biohazard did as well, because it's quite often actually for your natural mineral patch to be the place of the proxy.
But he only put his probe as far as the shrub, he didn't put it past, so for all we know there could be a pylon there.
Yeah, but pylons that go there generally go down later. It's generally you're checking for the proxy 2-gate, and you can't fit that behind the grass. Cybernetics core coming out a bit faster for Biohazard, or should I say Thames Valley. There's a suspicious probe on the left-hand side of the map. It doesn't seem to want to go into
he's lurking.
Player's base, but some small timing differences. One made a Zealot before the Cybernetics core, but it shouldn't be too much of a difference.
I think Xeon was planning to do something with that probe because he's just moving it away to avoid Biohazard from seeing it.
Yeah, it seems to be going down for a pylon in the on the right-hand side. So probably going to see some early aggression from Xeon.
Stalker's pretty much identical timing for both players. Warp Gate is fairly neck and neck, but Biohazard does have an advantage, and he's putting down 2 more gateways, so that's 3-gate and the Cybernetics score.
This is the
4-gate.
You do it at 24 supply, and you cut probes then.
Yeah.
And you generally do it before your warp gate gets to halfway if you want to have a successful one. And the same is coming from Xeon, although slightly later. It's not too much that it should be too much of a problem. I think he built an extra probe, which just shows a little bit of lack of efficiency, but not too much to worry about. On Biohazard putting down the early pylons actually.
Yeah, 2, so he'll have to focus on 1. So there's a chance the bottom one will be able to get up quick enough.
Yeah, and his warp gate is just finishing. Very efficient timing from Biohazard. Both these pylons are going to finish because there was a distraction from Biohazard, the Zealot and the Stalker. But the warp gates have finished, and we'll be seeing a warp in soon, whereas Xeon's warp gates have not started warping in, and all of a sudden Xeon is on the back foot and needs to be very careful with his units out here.
Biohazard carefully kiting those units, pushing away the Stalker and the Zealot, warping a 5th Stalker, and he's going to start pushing up this ramp. There is no units currently in Xeon's base, so he's going to run straight into the mineral line and completely gut everything. Xeon pulling probes off the mineral line, so he is absolutely getting nothing in, trying to harass, but Biohazard's forced into a bottleneck.
Yeah, Xeon decided to go for the base phase option and has gone into Biohazard's base, snipes a pylon, did supply block Biohazard, but another pylon finished just in time, and Xeon is
3 more Zealots
very quickly.
3 more Zealots are pulling in, and they're just going to gut the rest of this probe line, and I'm not sure how...
Well, Xeon has taken down all of the warp gates of Biohazard, so there's no more units coming. So Biohazard decides to stay in Xeon's base and just go for the base trade.
Biohazard pulling off probes just the same as Xeon did, but Xeon has taken out his warp gates, as you mentioned.
Now Biohazard, his plan here, he's just going to transfer his probes and build his nexus in Xeon's base. As you can see, he's saved up 565 minerals just to make that nexus. And I get the feeling that he's been in the 4-gate versus 4-gate situation before.
Yeah, you can tell
this.
he's planned for this very carefully.
Although, no, he's changed his mind. He's not going to kill the nexus. He doesn't like that move. He's going to bring the probes back and use them and his units to try and kill units, it seems. Although a little miss micro with the probes, I'm not really quite sure what they're doing here. And here come the units, finally, but there's a lot of zealots at the back, and I would not advise going in without them, but seems he's going to do it all the same.
Those probes are cornering that zealot, and they are going to be able to take it down, but I'm not sure whether... Oh! Come on, the little probe. Ah, 2 hero probes taking out that zealot.
Pretty big miss micro there by Biohazard has given Xeon an attempt to get back in this game with some superior micro. If he can micro and focus down the Stalker, he will have free reign on the Zealots. And here we go, he's starting to do that now. Pull back by the Stalker, he has to be very careful, but he just managed to get him.
Just loses it. These 2 Stalkers should be able to give enough runarounds to start kiting these Zealots, but if Biohazard does it well, he should be able to pin him in, but Xeon is doing a great job of giving him the runaround.
Yeah, some Zealots coming up here to try and cut him off. Xeon getting a little bit greedy, going to the middle. Needs to spend more time moving than shooting. And
you can see Biohazard
coming in. It was too far away to try and focus down. And it looks like Biohazard has a significant advantage here, and Xeon has no choice but to GG. Congrats to Biohazard in a 4-gate versus 4-gate. It's not that easy, but some tiny little decisions can
make all the difference.
The question is whether Xeon's going to blame himself for that decision to go for a bait trade rather than try and defend his base.
Yeah.
And blue won that.
Indeed.
So yeah, did you like how he played?
Yeah, I mean, it was very good. I mean, I honestly expected them to GG as soon as his warp gates were all shut down, but
he had his units in the opponent's base at that point. I mean, he could have walked them in at the top of his ramp, or he walked them in at the proxy pylon, which he decided to do.
Oh, go away. Nyeh.
I refuse to go away.
Nyeh. No, it's not you. Someone's trying to call me on Skype. And I'm deliberately ignoring them.
But yeah, we're going to get Game 2 coming up shortly. Of Thames Valley University versus Falmouth. We saw Falmouth last week. I forget. I apologise, like how they did. I think the results are going up on the utl.ukstarcraft.net website. But they weren't up last I checked, so just bear with us on that. And if you do end up going to watch Doctor Who or the TSL, then you can always find the videos of this. Either they'll be in VOD form at this JTV channel, or they'll be at my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Request, with the same spelling.
But no, you're not going to go watch Doctor Who or TSL. They both have... You've got iPlayer and VODs. You want to watch this, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. TSL's a TVT. Why do you want to watch that? No, TSL is going to be awesome.
Yeah, Cass is playing Forzan.
But I'm looking forward to tomorrow more, obviously. PvP is slightly more interesting to me than TVT. I guess I just got slightly bored of TVT. I can blame the GSL Code A for that.
See, in my opinion, mirror matchups go like this: TVT, ZVZ, PvP. I know it's fairly unpopular, but I find them that way.
Sorry, which do you like first?
TVT. I mean, people go, oh, but it's just tank wars, and well, depending which players you get, TVT can be incredibly interesting. I mean,
yeah,
I've seen
be incredibly long,
boring. I mean, I've seen TVTs between show and select, and they're both really good players, and both use tanks in their mixes, though Select does tend to buy a ball a bit more, but when they're both facing each other, because they're on the same team, they pull out some really strange tactics.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more enjoyable.
But I was spoilt, really. I grew up on Brood War TVT, which I find infinitely more interesting than...
See, I'm a StarCraft guy. I'm a StarCraft 2 guy. I wasn't aware of Brood War before I came into StarCraft 2. Shame on me. Though in my defense, I'm a bit too young.
You are a bit. I mean, how old are you when StarCraft Brood War came out?
I was
like 97.
97. I was 3 when Brood War came out then.
Oh God, way to make me feel old, dude. We're just waiting on the next players to pick the maps. Should be going shortly. Thanks for tuning in. Probably to support your teams. Just curious, people in the chat, what team you're here to support. Wondering, because there's not many people from Plymouth. It would be nice to see how many guys are out there supporting their local university or sixth form college.
Yeah.
So, just we'll see what happens when the stream catches up. There's a delay. Is there a place to learn more about the players? Not too sure at the moment.
Nah, I don't think so.
Where's Napier? Do you know?
Napier? Hang on, let me just Google it. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Napier. Edinburgh, apparently.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
That's cool. If you're here to watch StarCraft 2, then glad to have you.
Do we have any bracket links? Yes, we do.
Yeah, it should all be on the uk.utl. Join on me, by the way.
What map we on? Ooh, Metalopolis.
Yep. GSTL Metalopolis, which means they can spawn in close positions, but they have the building at the ramp.
Yeah, they have a supply depot at the ramp. See, I never understood why they did that.
It's so you can't wall it in with bunkers.
Yeah, but it's just really weird. I mean, I know it's to prevent like really long drawn-out games if they try something, but you know, it prevents.
No, it's to stop. Have you seen a 2 bunker ramp at the bottom of the ramp against the Zerg?
Oh yeah, did you watch SC against Nest T this morning?
Yeah, but that's not quite the same. It's not
Yeah.
quite as ridiculous. That actually took some skill.
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen them.
Okay, we're going to be going into game 2, and that sound was my IRC client dying, so I hope you didn't try and message me on it, anyone. Anyway, we have Falmouth versus TVU game 2. Wow, they're both Protoss again. This is what I get for saying I like PvP.
Oh, it's all your fault.
The Bash has a Zerg icon, so maybe he's just not quite happy with Zerg right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which just means he isn't using Infest as much. Oh,
maybe he's just being antisocial to the Swarm. He wants his own personal bubble.
Yeah, but you don't have to be social in the Swarm. Have you seen Kerrigan? You don't need it. Anyway, at the bottom we have the Falmouth player who is called Bash. He is a Protoss player. And at the top we have Trower Barton, who plays for Thames Valley University. And it's a second PvP. Should be interesting. Thames Valley are up 1. And we don't... Did you check the leagues of these guys before we came in?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you want to...
Because...
No, you can't. You can't do S2 ranks anymore. Should be interesting. It doesn't matter that it wasn't MLG because they're not close positions anyway. Not that close positions makes too much of a difference in this matchup. It used to be like before the Zealot speed train time change that you could like very easily 2-gate in close positions, but and the close air positions doesn't make too much difference now. Maybe DTs later, it would have made a difference if they were close in air rather than cross positions, but not so much anymore. And we see a 12-gate going down by both guys. One guy choosing to wall off in PvP, which is rather
strange. So he's probably going to do some shenanigans early.
We might
some
see a
strange
full
open.
wall off. I mean, it does work against the the 4-gate when they warp up at the top of the round. But sadly, didn't check the leagues of these guys, so not quite sure like how proficient they would be at stuff like defending 4-gate, things you just have to remember. Scouting the corner of your base for the proxy pylon is always a good move in this matchup, as Troa goes to this corner just to make sure there's nothing fishy going on.
Despite all the superior technology of the Protoss and the Terran, we still can't see through steam. Joy.
Yeah, they changed it recently actually, that you can't see air units.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to add a...
Anyway, I think they did. They did something to the Steam. Anyway, still pretty bog standard, although Red, that's the Falmouth player, Bash, has gone for the slightly earlier Zealot, but he hasn't sacrificed anything for it. I think Blue had a slightly delayed pylon. I think he forgot his second pylon for a moment. And that's why the Zealot is slightly earlier, and Red is just slightly further ahead on all this jazz. Warp gate going down for both players, as you expect. Difference being that Bash is about a third through a second warp gate, so it looks like he's going to be going for the 3-stalker opening, designed to pick off the proxy probe in the early scout proxy probe in the 4-gate, because he pushes out when they're doing the 4-gate, he pushes out with the Zealot and Stalker, and if you get the 3 stalkers faster than he gets that amount of units, and you end up being able to deny him placing the proxy pylon, which is pretty much what all this build we're seeing the 4-gate is about.
Ooh,
so
we see Trower waypointing a pylon at the second expansion, so Bash he'll definitely need to push out to try and scout that, otherwise pressure is going to start coming in hard and fast.
The problem with this is you really need to be slightly more proactive than he is being, bearing in mind that he hasn't even started his 3rd or 4th warp gate yet, and Blue is pretty much about to finish. It's interesting that both of the TVU players we've seen have had a much more solid full warp gate build than the players from Falmouth, so maybe they practice it. I don't know if they know the race of who they're facing beforehand, but it would be interesting to see if that's the case. And the sentry is down for Bash, so it's going to be down to the force field where
we see Barton is going to start pushing up. Ooh, but Bash needs to be aware. Oh, and he manages. Oh, and Barton takes out the sentry, losing the Stalker. No, sorry.
Yeah, that was a terrible force field. Really. He needed to either separate the Zealot first or trap a Stalker up there as well, and now he's just behind on warp gates, and he has to pull probes rightly, but there's just too much.
Pushing all the probes back.
He can just sit here and scare Bash off, and then go for the silent export or pylons or whatever. And TVU is in a very commanding position in this game. The 4 warp gates to 3, but 2 effectively. And some formality kiting here from Bash. He's trying to do his best, trying to pick up the Zealot, but you can tell he's given up because he hasn't even warped this gateway into a warp gate. And
there we go, it's up again, GG.
But yeah, it's 4-gate versus not 4-gate. The last time was 4-gate versus 4-gate.
4-gate, yeah. Micro proved the factor in that. Alright, I need to go get my food, so I'll be back in half an hour.
Alright. So TVU taking that one pretty handily, 2-0. Congrats to them. and hopefully we won't have quite as many Protoss versus Protoss games as we've seen so far. But just waiting on the next game, and that was 2-0. Stream's going to go down.